शाखानताश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकाकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी दशरानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादे पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे।
Hare Krishna. Thank you. So we are again returning back to our study of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. So we had so far covered the first 6 chapters. Particularly in the 5th and 6th chapter, we saw how Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam was gifted by Sri Narad Muni to Vyāsadeva. So there are long discussions, conversations, and many subject matters were discussed. In principle, the focus which was given by Narad Muni, is to give the conclusion of what all has been given by Vyāsadeva, to present Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, which will be the essence of all the Vedic scriptures. So this is the 7th chapter, where we see the vision and glories of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, as it is presented by Srila Vyāsadeva. Of course, the chapter is entitled The Son of Drona Punished, but initially what we are discussing, that after Narad Muni left, the spiritual master left, so what did Vyāsadeva do? This was the query which was inquired by the sages assembled, headed by Sri Shaunak Rishi, that after Narad's departure, what did Srila Vyāsadeva do? And Sita Goswami replies in the 2nd and the 3rd verse that he again went to his hermitage in Samya-Prash, which is on the bank of the river Saraswati, and he meditated. He was in deep meditation, and in his meditation, what did he see? Anyone remembers? What did Vyāsadeva had vision? Yaad hai? Maybe more than a month that we are returning back to Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. What did Vyāsadeva had darshan? No one of you remember? He sees the Supreme Lord Kṛṣṇa, the absolute personality of Godhead. And he also sees the external potency Maya. He sees both the Supreme Lord and Maya is the shadow of Kṛṣṇa. And he also sees the living entity Jiva. And Yaya Sammohito Jiva, the living entity which is bewildered, and the bewilderment is caused by the 3 modes of material nature Maya. And how it works is ātma-nam tri-gunātmakam. Because of the influence of the 3 modes, he misidentifies the self with body. So he sees that it is only because of the bewilderment of Maya that the Jiva is suffering. So he gives the solution to the suffering of the living entity, of the bewildered soul. So he presents the signs of Bhakti Yoga. In the 6th verse, he presents the signs of Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti Yogam Atrokshache. Anartho Upsamam Sakshat Bhakti Yogam Atrokshache. The sufferings of the Jivas can be mitigated directly by taking to the process of Bhakti Yoga unto Lord Shri Krishna. And then in the 7th verse, the last verse that we discussed, is what is the result or glory of hearing Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Very beautiful verse. So I will start from the 7th verse and continue forward. You can see this screen. What is the result of hearing the Bhagavatam? Why Srila Vyāsadeva gave as a result of providing solution to the suffering of the living entities, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam was presented by Vyāsadeva. And the glory of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is very much there in this verse, the 7th verse. Yasyaham vaishūyamanāya Krishne parama purushe bhaktirutpadyate pumsa shukamoha bhayapaha. That yasyaham vaishūyamanāya. Just by giving attentive oral reception to this Śrūyamana, this literature which talks about the glories and activities, glorious activities of the Supreme Lord, who Sri Lord Sri Krishna, who is Parama-Purusha, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So just by giving attentive reception, the oral reception of hearing the descriptions of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, which is in relation to the Supreme Absolute Truth, Lord Sri Krishna, who is the Parama-Purusha, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. What is the result? Bhakti Rutpadyate Pumsa. That one is able to very quickly develop loving feelings of devotional service for the Supreme Lord. Bhakti Rutpadyate Pumsa. And when Bhakti arises, it completely eradicates one's shoka, moha, and bhaya. Shoka means lamentation, moha means illusion, and bhaya means fear. So one is free as soon as one revokes bhakti in his heart, one is free from all these three evils, which is always there in the heart. And in particular, Srila Prabhupada mentions that loving devotional service to the Lord begins with hearing about the Lord. Very important. So many times, again and again, we are reminded from either we study Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam or Bhagavad Gita or Chaitanya Charitamrita, or for that matter, any other scripture, any other Vedic scripture, that the importance of hearing, daily hearing. And here Srila Prabhupada is directly saying that loving devotional service to the Lord begins with hearing about the Lord. And he says that there is no difference between the Lord and the subject matter heard about him, because he is on the absolute platform. The Lord is absolute in all respects, and thus there is no difference between him and the subject matter heard about him. In this one sentence, Prabhupada is repeating it thrice. Therefore, hearing about him means immediate contact with him by the process of vibration of the transcendental sound. And the transcendental sound is so effective that it acts at once by removing all material affections mentioned above. What are the material affections? Pranab Prabhu, what are the material affections?
Material affection for our attachment to the bodily relationships.
Shoka, moha, bhaya. Simple. Material affection and material attachments leads to shoka, moha, and bhaya. It is all eradicated in one stroke method. And what is that one stroke method? Pranab?
By hearing Prabhuji.
Hearing what?
Hearing this transcendental literature.
Hearing this Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Hearing this Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Yasyaham vaishūyamana. By hearing this, by giving oral reception to this Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, which is in relation to Krishna Parama-Purusha. And what is the result? Bhakti utpadyate pumsa. Very quickly, what sprouts up is loving devotional service to the Supreme Lord. And this, when this loving devotional service is invoked, shoka moha bhayata. One is free from lamentation, illusion, and fear. So that is the special prerogative, the special benediction given by Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Srila Vyāsadeva is personally given. So we go forward from the 8th verse. Let's see further. saṁhitāṁ bhāgavatīṁ kṛtvā anukramya cātma-jam śukam adhyāpayām nivṛtti-nirataṁ muniḥ. So saṁhitāṁ. Saṁhitāṁ is about this Vedic literatures. Saṁhitāṁ is this is the final saṁhitāṁ. This is the essence of all these scriptures, which is bhāgavatīṁ. Bhāgavatīṁ is which is the connection to or in relation to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is why it is called Bhāgavatam. So after having compiled this literature which is in relation to Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, kṛtvā, anukramya. Anukramya means again it is revisited, revised or edited. So anukramya means by correction and repetition. Who did it? Srila Vyāsadeva. After giving the scripture, he again revised it and he edited it. And not only that, ātma-jam śukam. And his ātma-jam means his son. Jam means to take birth. Ja. Karma-ja. Karma-ja means one who takes birth according to his karma. That is everyone in this material world. Yehi karma-ja, which is there in the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita. And here it is saying that ātma-jam. Ātma-jam means that takes birth from the self. And who is that person who is taking birth? Is Śukam, is Śukadeva Gosvāmī. So what he did with his ātma-jam, Śukadeva Gosvāmī, adhyāpayām. Adhyāpayām means that he thoroughly taught him, made him study what? This Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, which is nivṛtti. This is the path of self-realization. Niratam muniḥ. Niratam means engaged and muni is the sage. So the great sage Vyāsadeva, after compiling the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam and revising it, very important, after just writing it, he did not distribute it. He revised it, edited it, examined it. Then he taught it to his own son, Śrī Śukadeva Gosvāmī, who was already engaged in self-realization. Here, nivṛtti-nirataṁ muni means for Śukadeva Gosvāmī, who was already on the path of self-realization. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, so here we see that he did not just distribute it or start preaching it. First, he revised it and repeated it for himself, for his own benefit. And then he taught this saṁhitām, this paramahaṁsas saṁhitām, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, to his own son, Śukadeva Gosvāmī. And Śukadeva Gosvāmī was not an ordinary person, he was a very advanced transcendentalist since birth. So Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is the natural commentation of the Brahma-sūtra, compiled by the same authors. What is Brahma-sūtra? Anyone knows? The answer is already there. If you see carefully, the answer is already there in the sentence. I'll again show you. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is the natural commentation on the Brahma-sūtras. Got it? Come on. Very simple answer. There, Shiv? At least you should speak.
Prabhuji, this is Vedānta-sūtra, Vedānta-sūtra.
Brahma-sūtra means Vedānta-sūtra. Vedānta. Ved means knowledge and Anta means the end. So Vedanta means where all the knowledge ends, or which is the conclusion of all knowledge. So that is Vedānta-sūtra. So that was the final word of Srila Vyāsadeva, where he gave the essence of all the scriptures in a very concentrated form, in the form of aphorism. It is called the sutra, like the Paribhāsha-sūtra. It is one line, but the entire literature or the book expands on that one verse or on that one line. So that was the Vedānta-sūtra, which is also called the Brahma-sūtra. But after Brahma-sūtra was delivered, we saw the situation of how Vyāsadeva was dissatisfied. So, to remove his dissatisfaction, Narad Muni arrived and gave him the learning and the wisdom and the inspiration to compile Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, which is the natural commentary. As Prabhupada is mentioning here, that Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is the natural commentary of the Brahma-sūtra or Vedānta-sūtra, compiled by the same author, that is Srila Vyāsadeva. This Brahma-sūtra or Vedānta-sūtra, it is clear, is meant for those who are already engaged in self-realization. These are for very, very advanced transcendentalists, Vedantists. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is so made that one becomes at once engaged in the path of self-realization simply by hearing the topics. Again, this aspect is covered. That one becomes at once engaged in the path of self-realization simply by hearing the topics. Although it is specially meant for the paramahaṁsas, this paramahaṁsamita, or those who are totally engaged in self-realization, it works into the depths of the hearts of those who may be worldly men. And none of us can claim to be paramahamsa, who is completely free from all form of worldly attachments and worldly afflictions. But even though one is in that state, Prabhupada is mentioning here that it works into the depth of the hearts of those who may be worldly men. And who are the worldly men? Worldly men are engaged in self-gratification. But even such men will find the Vedic literature a remedial measure for their material disease. What is the disease? The disease is the attempt to enjoy the senses. Śukadeva Gosvāmī was a liberated soul from the very beginning of his birth. And his father taught him Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Very interesting, how Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam was taught by Srila Vyāsadeva to Śukadeva Gosvāmī. Sonika, you please remain silent. How Śukadeva Gosvāmī taught Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam to Vyāsadeva taught Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam to Śukadeva Gosvāmī. Anyone knows? Not like what we are doing. One person is reading and repeating and the others are hearing. Not like this. Very different. देवाशीष कैसे पढ़ाया व्यासदेव ने सुखदेव गोस्वामी को श्रीमद्-भागवतम? सुना है नहीं सुना है?
हरे कृष्ण नहीं सुना बोले।
नहीं सुना? किसने सुना? बोलो, you should be knowing. Sukadeva Goswami is the reciter of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. So how he received it? Yes, there Shri Prabhu. Boliye, your hand is up. Unmute and speak.
Prabhuji,
Yeah.
while Sukadeva Goswami was in the womb of his mother, at that
Yeah.
time,
At that time, Vyasadeva told him, huh? What is mentioned in the verse? How much are you following the verse? What the verse says? What is the verse saying? You have Bhagavatam with you in your hand or not? So you read the verse. Unmute and speak. Unmute. बोलो जल्दी पढ़ो, अनम्यूट करो ना यार, बार-बार म्यूट क्यों कर रहे हो?
the great says Vyāsadeva, after compiling the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam and revising it, brought it to his own son, Śrī Śukadeva Gosvāmī, who was already engaged in self-realization.
Where he was engaged in self-realization in the womb of his mother. Huh? Where is your common sense?
No problem.
What it means? So don't speculate. Give me the right answer. You are confused. You are talking about Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj received Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam in the womb of his mother. But that was given by Narad Muni, not by Vyāsadeva. Who knows the answer? Pranav? Manoram Prabhu? No one knows. Very poor. Priyanka? Where is Ravindra Prabhu?
Busy now.
बहुत दूर है, किधर है? दिखाई नहीं दे रहे.
Prabhuji is engaged.
चलो सोनिका आप बताओ.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Prabhuji, after coming out of the womb of his mother, Sukadeva Goswami just left out and just started running. Like after taking birth. After that, Vyāsadeva chased him, tried to chase him, but he was unable to chase. So he just sent his disciples and told him to recite few verses. Who was explaining which the verse was related to the glorification of Supreme Lord, and after hearing that, Sukadeva Goswami just returned back. In that way, Vyāsadeva.
What are the two verses? What are the two verses?
Prabhuji, I got that, Prabhuji.
Oh, Vakiyam Stanakal Kutam Jigam Sayapapayad Api Sadhvi. So the first verse talk about the compassion and the mercy of Lord Shri Krishna. That Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is so compassionate, so merciful, so magnanimous, that even if someone approaches him to kill, like this Avo Bakiyam, the sister of Baki, what is her name? Putana. She came with smearing the poison on her breast to kill Krishna. But Krishna gave her the highest portion. Lebhe tato dhatri annavat. And then what is the second verse? Anyone? Now you recollect what is the second verse? Second verse talk about Krishna's beauty. First verse talk about Krishna's magnanimity, his compassion, what a merciful personality is. And second verse talk about his irresistible beauty. Varaha pidam natavar vapu karnayor karnikaram. That how beautiful is Krishna. His Varaha pidam and his natavar vapu is the most expert dancer. So when Śukadeva Goswami heard these two verses, and who is this person who is so beautiful, and who is this person who is so merciful? So he came running behind this two of Vyasadeva's disciples who were reciting these verses. And both disciples of Vyasadeva were very expert. They brought him back to the lotus feet of Vyasadeva. And Śukadeva Goswami became very interested to know about Krishna, because without appetite, without hunger, no one can relish the preparation. So that appetite was invoked in the heart of Śukadeva Goswami. How? By making him hear Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. You see, this is the evidence. With another evidence of how one can be attracted towards the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He was already ahead in the path of self-realization. Krishna personally intervened and came and gave him darshan and said, "Don't worry, my dear Shuka, my parrot, please come out. Maya cannot trouble you. Maya cannot touch you." He was not willing to come out because he knew that Maya is going to bewilder everyone. So anyway, so he got attracted to the qualities of Krishna, to the beauty of Krishna. And how he got attracted? Just by hearing the verses of Śrīmad. So here it is said that Śukadeva Gosvāmī was liberated soul from the very beginning of his birth. And after his father taught him Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. So he very systematically underwent the training by his father, Srila Vyāsadeva. Amongst scholars, there is some diversity of opinion as to the date of compilation of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. It is, however, certain from the text of Bhāgavatam that it was compiled before the disappearance of King Parīkṣit and after the departure of Lord Kṛṣṇa. Very clear? Before the disappearance of King Parīkṣit, because it was narrated to Parīkṣit Mahārāja. That was narrated after Krishna's departure. Krishna Sodhame Upagate Dharma Jnana Adi Visara. When Mahārāja Parīkṣit was ruling in the world as the King of Bhārata-varṣa, he chastised the personality of Kali. This is there, it will come in the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, how he chastised the personality of Kali. According to revealed scripture and astrological calculation, the age of Kali is in 5,000 years. Therefore, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam was compiled not less than 5,000 years ago. Mahabharata was compiled before Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. And the Puranas were compiled before Mahabharata. This is the estimation of the date of compilation of different Vedic literatures. The synopsis of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam was given before the detailed description under instructions of Narada. What are the synopsis of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam? Is the teaching of Narada Muni to Srila Vyāsadeva. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is the science for following the path of nivṛtti-mārga. What is nivṛtti-mārga? Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is the science of following the nivṛtti-mārga. You all know what is nivṛtti-mārga. You already answered. Let them answer. आंसर बाबा जल्दी बोलो, टाइम थोड़ा ही है। मैंने प्रॉमिस किया इस साल में कंप्लीट करना है। 19 चैप्टर है भाई, अभी तो 7 पे ही आए हैं। आधे से ज्यादा साल तो बीत गया। टुडे इज ऑलरेडी 15th of July, 16th of July. Where is Ramya? Dayashil प्रभु? अच्छा, ओके। आप बताइए रम्या, व्हाट इज निवृत्ति-मार्ग? गौरंगी हाथ खड़ा कर रही है। शी वांट्स टू रिप्लाई।
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी।
हरे कृष्णा।
प्रभु जी, exactly I don't know. Nivṛtti-mārga is the path of liberation.
Yes, simple. Pravṛtti-mārga is the path of sense enjoyment, and nivṛtti-mārga is the marga of liberation or attaining salvation. The same thing. Very good. The synopsis of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam was given before the detailed description under instructions of Narada. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is the science for following the path of liberation. Very good word she said, nivṛtti-mārga. The path of pravṛtti-mārga was condemned by Narada. What was the pravṛtti-mārga? What was the pravṛtti-mārga given by Vyāsadeva? Pradeep, what was the pravṛtti-mārga given by Vyāsadeva which was condemned by Narada? अरे बोलो, इतना सरल है. It is so easy, so basic. Dayashil,
Prabhuji, all the Vedas, Prabhuji, most of the Vedas.
Karma-kanda section, not
Karma-kanda
Karma-kanda section of the Vedas. This is all pravṛtti-mārga. That path is the natural inclination for the conditioned soul. Which path? Pravṛtti-mārga. The theme of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is the cure of the materialistic disease of the human being, or stopping completely the pangs of material existence. So Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, it converts the person's agenda from pravṛtti-mārga to come to nivṛtti-mārga. How? By invoking affection, attraction and attachment in the heart towards the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Shanak uvacha savaya nivṛtti-nirataṁ sarvatra upekṣato muni kasyava pravṛtti-mārga ātma-rama saṁbhāṣaya. Śrī Śukadeva Gosvāmī asked Sut Goswami. This is regarding to the question was asked on three personalities. On the how the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam appeared, and the question about Śukadeva Goswami is being answered here, and later it will be answered on Parīkṣit Maharaj here. Śukadeva Goswami was already on the path of self-realization. Savaya means Śukadeva Goswami. Nivṛtti-nirataṁ, who was already on the path of self-realization. And thus he was pleased by his own self. Sarvatra upekṣakah muniḥ. He was self-satisfied. Kasya va pravṛtti-mārga. So why did he take the trouble to undergo the study of such a vast literature? Ātma-rama saṁbhāṣaya. So when he was already so advanced on the path of self-realization, and he was so steady, so why did he take the trouble of studying of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam? Very important question. So the people of, in general, the highest perfection of life is to cease from material existence and to be fixed in the path of self-realization. Those who take pleasure in self-enjoyment, or those who are fixed in material bodily welfare work, are called karmis. That is what we said, karma-kandis. Out of thousands and millions of such karmis, one may become an ātma-ramas or self-realization. Okay, only very few. Manushyanam sahasreshu. Atma means self, and arama means to take pleasure. Very beautiful. So what is the Atma-ram verse meaning? That one who takes pleasure in the self, that is in the spirit, not in the matter. Everyone is searching after the highest pleasure, but the standard of pleasure of one may be different from the standard of another. Isn't it? That is all we see. The standard of pleasure for one may not be completely any source of pleasure for another. Different people will have different standards for happiness and pleasure. Everyone is searching for the highest pleasure, but the standard of pleasure of one may be different from the standard of another. Therefore, the standard of pleasure enjoyed by the karmis is different from that of the Atma-ramas. The Atma-rama is one who is taking pleasure around where? In Atma, in this self. The Atma-ramas are completely indifferent to material enjoyment in every respect. Lord Śukadeva Goswami had already attained that stage, and still he was attracted to undergo the trouble of studying the great Bhagavatam literature. This means that Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is the postgraduate studies even for the Atma-ramas, who have surpassed the studies of Vedic knowledge. So Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is, witness is there that even after liberation, one can achieve advantage from the study of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Suta uvacha ātma-ramascha muniyo nigranta pi urukrame urumanti ahetu kim bhaktim ittam bhuta gunohari. So hearing this, Śrīmad Goswami said, all different varieties of Atma-ramas. Atma-ramascha muniyo. Muniyo means sages, or those who are seeking the absolute truth or the highest pleasure. So nigrahanta, to be free from the material bondage. So what they do is Urukramya. Urukramya is coming for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna is known as Urukrama, who performs very, very Herculean tasks. Kurvanti ahetukim bhaktim. So whoever hears the wonderful description of the great adventures of Lord Kṛṣṇa, so what he does, he becomes Kurvanti ahetukim bhakti. He is freed from all kinds of material bondage, and in his heart the desire to render unalloyed devotional service unto the personality of Godhead is invoked. This means that the Lord possesses transcendental qualities and therefore can attract everyone, including liberated soul. Lord Śrī Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explained the ātma-jam shloka very vividly before his chief devotee Srila Sanatana Goswāmī. He points out 11 factors in this shloka, namely ātma-jam, muniḥ, nivṛtti-nirataṁ, api ca urukrama, kurvanti ahetukim bhaktim, ittam bhuta guna, and hari. 11. According to the Vishnu Prakash Sanskrit, there are 11 synonyms for the word Atma, which are as follows. One is Brahma, the absolute truth. Second is body. Third is mind. Fourth is endeavor. Fifth is endeavorance. Sixth is intelligence. And seventh is personal habits. The word muniḥ refers to those who are thoughtful. First meaning is that those who are very thoughtful, very grave person. They are called muniḥ, who are always contemplating. Those who are grave and silent, they are ascetic. The persistent, they are persistent. They are always in the renounced order. They are as mendicants. And they are also sages themselves. So the word nirgranta conveys these ideas. One who is liberated from nations. One who has no connection with scripture injunction, that is, who is free from the obligation of the rules and regulations mentioned in the revealed scriptures, like ethics, Vedas, philosophy, psychology, and metaphysics. In other words, the fools, illiterate urchins, who have no connection with the regulative principles. Third, a capitalist, and fourth, also one who is penniless. According to Shabdakosh dictionary, the affix ni is used in the sense of one certainty, second counting, third is building, and fourth is forbiddance. And the word grantha is used in the sense of wealth, thesis, vocabulary, etc. The word urukrama means one whose activities are glorious. Krama means step, and urukrama means indicates the Lord incarnation as Vamana, who covered the whole universe by immeasurable steps. Lord Vishnu is powerful and his activities are so glorious that he has created the spiritual world by his internal potency and the material world by the external potency. By his all-pervading feature, he is everywhere present as the supreme truth. And his personal feature is always present in the transcendental abode of Golok Vrindavan, where he displays his transcendental pastimes in all variegatedness. His activities cannot be compared to anyone else, and therefore the word urukrama is just applicable to him only. According to Sanskrit verbal agreement, Kurvanti refers to doing things for someone else. Therefore, it means that the ātma-jamas, who are the ātma-jamas? The liberated soul, the paramahaṁsas, those who are already reached the perfection state or those who are even at the practice stage. Therefore, it may, okay. Hetu means casual, and there are many causes for one's sense gratification. And they can be chiefly classified as material enjoyment, mystic powers, and liberation, which are generally desired by progressive person. As far as the material enjoyments are concerned, they are innumerable. And the materialists are eager to increase them more and more because they are under the illusionary energy. There is no need to the list of material enjoyments, nor can anyone in the material universe have all of them. Prabhupada is giving the conclusion. See, Prabhupada is saying there is no end to the list of material environments, nor can anyone in the material universe have all of them. As far as the mystic powers are concerned, they are 8 in all. That we all know, Anima, Laghima. To become the minutest in form, to become the weightless, to have anything one desires, to lord it over the material nature, to control other living beings, to throw earthly globes in outer spaces, etc. These mystic powers are mentioned in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. The form of liberation are 5 in number. Anyone knows this last mention? The form of liberation are 5 in number. What it means? The form of liberation is 5 in numbers. Any idea? Yes, there should be.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी।
Hare Krishna, yes, बोलिए.
प्रभु जी सालोक्य सामीप्य साजुज्य।
Very good. One is Sayujya, then there is Salokya, then there is Sarupya. Very good. Then
सामीप्य।
very good. Samipya. And there is one more. So these are the 5 kinds of liberation. Very good. So these are mentioned here. The form of liberation are 5 in numbers. Therefore, unallowed division means service unto the Lord without desire for the above mentioned personal benefit. What? All these 5 types of liberation. And the powerful personality of Godhead, Śrī Kṛṣṇa, can be fully satisfied by such unallowed devotees, free from all sides of desire for personal benefit, including desire for liberation. Unalloyed devotional service to the Lord progresses in different stages. Practice of devotional service in the material field is of 81 different qualities. And above such activity, the transcendental practice of devotional service, which is one and is also called sadhana bhakti. When unalloyed practice of sadhana bhakti is matured into transcendental love for the Lord, the transcendental loving service of the Lord begins gradually, developing into 9 progressive stages of loving service under the heading of attachment, love, affection, feelings, affinity, adherence, falling ecstasy, and intense feeling of separation. The attachment of an inactive devotee develops up to the stage of transcendental love of God. Attachment of an active servitor develops to the stage of adherence, and that of a friendly devotee develops up to the stage of falling, and the same is the case of the parental devotee. Devotees in conjugal love develop ecstasy up to the stage of intense feeling of separation. These are some of the features of unalloyed devotional service of the Lord. According to Hari Bhakti Sudodaya, it's a very big purport. Okay, according to Hari Bhakti Sudodaya, the import of the word itham bhuta is complete bliss. Transcendental bliss in the realization of impersonal Brahman becomes comparable to the scanty water contained in the pit made by the cow's hoof. Samashita pada pallava plava mahat padam punyo yashom bharari tamam buddhir vas padam yad vipadam latesha. So this entire material existence becomes as easy to cover as a cow's hoof. In the realization of impersonal Brahman becomes comparable to scanty water contained in the pit made by the cow's hoof. It is nothing compared to the ocean of bliss of the vision of the personality of Godhead. The personal form of Lord Shri Krishna is so attractive that it comprehends all attractions, all bliss, and all taste rasas. These attractions are so strong that no one wants to exchange them for material enjoyment, mystic powers, and liberation. There is no need of logical argument in support of this statement. But out of one's own nature, one becomes attracted by the qualities of Lord Shri Krishna. We must know for certain that the qualities of Lord have nothing to do with the mundane qualities. All of them are full of bliss, knowledge, and eternity. These are innumerable qualities of the Lord, and one who is attached by one's quality, while another is attracted by another. Great sages, such as the four bachelor devotees, Sanaka, Sanatan, Sananda, and Sanat Kumar, were attracted by the fragrance of the flowers and tulsi leaves anointed with the pulp of sandalwood offered at the lotus feet of the Lord. Similarly, Śukadeva Gosvāmī was attracted by the transcendental pastimes of the Lord. Śukadeva Gosvāmī was already situated on the liberated stage, yet he was attracted by the pastime of the Lord. This proved that the quality of his pastimes has nothing to do with material affinity. Similarly, the young cowherd themselves were attracted by the bodily features of the Lord, and Rukmani was attracted by hearing about the glories of the Lord. Lord Kṛṣṇa attacks even the mind of the goddess of fortune. He attracts, in special case, the minds of all young girls. He attracts the minds of elderly ladies by maternal affection. He attracts the mind of the male in the humor of servitude and connection. The word Hari conveys various meanings, but the chief import of the word is that he, the Lord, vanquishes everything inauspicious and takes away the mind of the devotee by awakening pure transcendental love. By remembering the Lord in acute distress, one can be free from all varieties of miseries and anxieties. Gradually, the Lord vanquishes all obstacles on the path of devotional service of a pure devotee. And the result of 9 devotional activities such as hearing and chanting becomes manifested. By his personal feature and transcendental attributes, the Lord attracts all psychological activities of a pure devotee. Such is the attractive power of Lord Kṛṣṇa. The attraction is so powerful that a pure devotee never hankers for any more of the 4 principles of Vedic. These are the attractive features of the transcendental attributes of the Lord. And adding to this the words api and cha, one can increase the imports immediately. According to Sanskrit grammar, there are 7 synonyms for the word api. So by interpreting each and every word of the shloka, one can see unlimited numbers of transcendental qualities of Lord Kṛṣṇa that attract the mind of your devotee. So I'll stop here. It is reaching 9. And we will discuss from verse number 11 from tomorrow. Hare Krishna. Anyone wants to contribute, speak, or has any doubt or question, so we may ask. Yes, Sarika.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, my question is from yesterday.
Cannot hear you. Can you speak a little louder? 1 second. I'm just going once. Yes, boliye.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Am
Yeah.
I audible?
Yeah. Take care.
Prabhuji, my question is from yesterday's class. May I ask?
Yesterday was Bahuda. Yeah.
Yes. Prabhuji, you asked a question that why Rukmini Devi was not permitted to enter in
No.
the.
It was not Rukmani Devi.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Lakshmi. Sorry. Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
So I didn't got the exact answer, Prabhuji.
Ramya gave the answer and I explained. Sarup Damodar Goswami gave the answer.
Okay,
Ramya,
that is.
Ramya, you explain. She is not in the bhava of Gopi.
Okay, that is.
She,
Okay.
she has the bhava of goddess of fortune. She cannot enter. Gopi bhav
Okay, Prabhuji.
rasa amrit lahari. How the Goswamis enter? Because they were having that gopi bhav. What is the gopi bhav? Is that we are all made servants of Krishna. He can do whatever he likes with us. There is no condition, no resistance. Very high gopi bhav. Completely on the dependence of Krishna, for the pleasure of Krishna. Without a tinge of any pride of possessions and possessiveness. That is gopi bhav. Unless and until one has that gopi bhav, we cannot enter Vraja. And what to speak of the most confidential pastime in Vraja, which is the Rasa Leela. Okay, so she is still performing austerity. Where? In Belvan.
Outside Vrindavan.
No, that is very much in Vraja, in Belvan. We will see. If we go towards that side of Yamuna this year, we will go to Belvan also. That is that temple is there. I remember we stayed one night there at Belvan. There, Lakshmi Devi is still performing austerity to get into admittance into Raslands. Okay.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Bolo, you should speak Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Our heart should be enlightened and gladdened. You see, it's a very important aspect. Vyāsadeva, after writing in his maturity, what is the verse? Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Mahamuni Krite King Parīkṣit. And in his maturity, in his final conclusion he gave, but still he revised it. And after revising it, revisiting it, he first taught it to his own son. And then he distributed it. Janma sarthak kari kar parupkar. Very important. Janma sarthak kari. Not just parupkar. We received the parupkar in the form of the gift of Narad Muni, just distribute it. No, it will not work. First have to apply it, accept it, realize it, and then distribute it. Okay. Hare Krishna. We will stop here. It's already past 9. We'll try to keep as close as 8 and try to close it by 9 so that everyone can take rest by 9:30. Tika Devashish, 9:30 means complete curtain down.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, Sonika, you also don't have to remain awake till 11:30. I can guarantee all of you, if you start sleeping before 10, you can easily wake up by 4. And your body will not give you any difficulty, nor will your mind give. Ravinder, where are you? Why you have to remain awake till 10:40? What do you have to do after now for 1 hour and 30 minutes? No need. Just 10-15 minutes and wind up and sleep. So that we can wake up in time. Very important, very, very important sadhana. That you should be performing devotional service in Brahma-Muhurat, not sleeping. Brahma-Muhurat is not meant for sleeping was. Then one cannot be in the spiritual platform. Why you have to remain awake for late? Sleep now. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai. And what about Manoram? You have to cook now. Hai? You have to cook now to remain awake till 11. So you start your cooking now, so that you can remain awake till 11. All nonsense. This is one way of saying that I don't want to practice sincerely. You want to practice sincerely, sleep before 10 and wake up before 4 or maximum by 4. No more than 4. Hare Krishna. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai. Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai.